Education, education, and more education. What's up, 23% Nation? Your boy Coach D is back. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about an education fund. Now, if you've been following these past few videos, guys, you know that Coach D is all about empowering people. How? Through financial wellness. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. These past few videos have been all about improving our financial wellness. So today is just the same. Today we're going to talk about an education fund. Why do we need one? So without any further delay, let's go ahead and dive right on in. All right, well, let's first understand what an education fund is all about. Well, guys, an education fund, and let's not get it twisted, okay? Just like a car fund, just like our active capital fund, a passive capital fund, as well as our emergency fund, guys, these are different types of savings accounts. Now, I do have to say this, that when we talk about an education fund, today we're going to get into four very different types of savings accounts. Now, that being said, please understand that Coach D is not, and I repeat, I am not a financial expert. I am not a financial consultant. However, I do understand how important it is for people to start saving money. Now, let's always remember, every penny ought to have a purpose. So, that being said, let's talk about an education fund in a little more detail. Okay? Now, please understand that the purpose of the education fund is to save money so that you can educate yourself. Please remember, 23% Nation, Coach D is a college professor. So, of course, I'm going to advocate you saving money in order to educate yourself. So, once again, an education fund, it is a savings account, but it is a special type of savings account. And don't worry, we'll talk much more about those in a little while. And as always, our financial mantra is every penny ought to have a purpose. That being said, the money that is going inside of your education fund is strictly, and I mean strictly, meant to educate you. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. All right. Now, if you've been following Coach D's series of savings funds videos, okay, guys, you know that there's always a benefit or several benefits attached to each particular fund. Now, today, I just want to let you in on a little secret, and that secret happens to be that the biggest benefit of having an education fund is to minimize student loan debt. That's right, guys. Student loan debt is out of control. Now, this, of course, hits very close to home because, guys, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. Coach D has mounds of student loan debt. You see, so if I can help just one person or maybe two people or maybe 100 people, why not 1,000,000 people stay out of student loan debt, then my job is done. But until that happens, guys, I'm going to continue, and I mean I'm going to continue to help people out. So the biggest benefit of having an education fund is that it'll help you minimize student loan debt. Now, if you are a parent and you want to do something that's really, really good for your child besides maybe purchasing their next video game for them, you may want to start this fund for them so that they in turn do not have to go into debt in order to in order to finance their education. But if they do, well, the education fund can help minimize the amount that they have to borrow from the federal government. Okay? I hope that helps you out. Okay, now guys, before we get into the special types of education funds, I first want to hit you with a few facts and figures that will probably inspire, if not motivate you to go ahead and start that special education fund. Look at this, $1.26 trillion in total student loan debt. That's right, guys. And we're not even talking about the federal debt. We're talking about just student loans. You see? So right now, there are millions upon millions of Americans who have student loan debt. And right now, that figure totals up to $1.26 trillion. Wow. Here's another fact. 43.3 million Americans currently have student loan debt. Now, I don't know about you, but me, Coach D, guys, I already have student loan debt. You see? So once again, my reason for doing this is to help you out. And let's take a look at our last fact. The average monthly student loan payment is $351. Wow. Now, let's take a look at that number, $351. Okay, now keep something in mind. That's just your student loan payments alone. You see, we haven't talked about your rent or your mortgage. We haven't talked about your car payment. We haven't talked about your auto insurance. We haven't talked about your internet bill, your cable bill. So you see, guys, if you plan to finance your education through student loans, then please make sure that whatever occupation you plan to go into, make sure that you will be able to afford your student loan payments. So once again, the average monthly payment is $351. And I repeat, that is the average. So that means some payments may be higher, some may be lower, but you can expect to spend anywhere around $300. So guys, I hope these facts and figures have now motivated you to start that education fund. Okay, so now that we've talked about the benefit, we've talked about these outrageous facts and figures, guys, let's now get to the good news, right? Because Coach D isn't about all doom and gloom, okay? So right now, I want to talk to you about 4 very specific ways in which we can begin an education fund. Get ready, because here we go. All right, guys, the first plan is called the 529 College Plan. Now, check it out. First of all, the 529 College Plan is going to help you save money tax-free. That's right, guys. So there are no penalties when it comes to the 529 College Plan. Now, here's something that we need to keep in mind, that whatever funds go into the 529 College Plan, the money belongs to the parent, not the potential student. So once again, the money that is in this 529 College Plan belongs to the parent, not the student. And the last little tidbit about the 529 College Plan is that the beneficiary can be changed. That's right. So now what does that mean, Coach D, that the beneficiary can be changed? Well, if you cut up, okay, if you disrespect your parents, if you get arrested, if you decide not to go to college, what that simply means is that mom and dad have the ability to change that fund to go to someone else, meaning your brother or your sister. All right, so make sure, my college students, that you're on your best behavior, because of course we don't want to upset mom and dad, so then that way the money goes to someone else and not to us. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the 529 College Plan. Now once again, guys, Coach D, I am not an expert financial consultant, so please do your own research so that you can find out more information about the 529 College Plan. Okay, let's now talk about our second type of education fund, and it's called the Prepaid Tuition Plan. So here are a few tidbits about it. For those of us that are interested in a prepaid tuition plan, the child must attend an in-state public university. So what does that mean, Coach D? Well, check it out. If you live in the state of Florida, that means that you have to go to college in Florida. Okay, you have to go to a state university that's located in the state of Florida. So you may want to go to Florida State University. You may want to go to Florida A&M University, like I did. Or you may want to go to the University of Central Florida, the University of Florida. Guys, Florida has a boatload of universities. So if you plan to use the prepaid tuition plan, then remember, you must go to an in-state public university. So if you're from New York, you got to stay in New York. If you're from California, you got to go to school in California. Okay? Now, here's another little tidbit about the prepaid tuition plan. It pays for tuition credits in advance at a predetermined price. Wow. So what does this mean? Well, what that means is that the earlier you set up this particular tuition plan, that means that you will be able to lock in college credits while they are at their lowest point. Because let's remember something, guys. Every year, if not every other year, college tuition goes up and up and up. As a matter of fact, it never goes down, you see? So the earlier that you can lock in a predetermined price, the better it'll be for you and for everybody that's involved in this particular prepaid tuition plan. So there you go, guys. That is education fund number 2. All right, let's now talk about education fund number 3. Now we have the UGMA and the UTMA accounts. All right, now let's talk about these. These particular accounts offer standard tax breaks for children under 18. That's right, guys. So in order to enroll in either one of these accounts, the child must be under 18 years old. Also, there are no restrictions on how the funds may be used as long as they directly benefit the child. Now, here's something that you probably may be thinking, is that it doesn't say college here, and you're absolutely right. But let's keep in mind that the whole idea behind the education fund is to finance our college education. So yes, if you happen to set up a UGMA or a UTMA account, the child does not automatically have to go to college, but of course we do want to recommend that you are college bound. And the last little tidbit about the UGMA and the UTMA accounts is that the money goes to the child once they turn 18, 19, 20, or 21 years old. So in other words, to all my students that are out there, you cannot get the money until you are at least 18 years old. All right, so make sure that you are respectful, make sure that you are driven and motivated to go to college, because if not, well, mommy and daddy may not give it to you. Okay, but according to the laws, they have to. So parents, make sure that you are aware that once your child turns 18 to 21 years old, that the money goes directly to them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to go to college with the money. So make sure that once your child turns 18 to 21 years old, that they have a very good head on their shoulders, they know their life's purpose, and they are following their life's vision. Okay, education fund number 4 happens to be called a Roth IRA. Now let's remember, guys, an IRA is an independent retirement account. So what is a Roth IRA? Well, let's talk about it. It says here that parents can open it in the child's name once the child begins earning income. So in other words, that means that a parent can open up a Roth IRA once the child, who's probably a teenager, actually gets a job, right? So once the parent can prove that the child has a steady flow of income, then the parent can go ahead and open up the IRA. The last little tidbit about a Roth IRA is that the parents can actually begin to make education withdrawals, which are then penalty free. Now, here's something that's rather interesting about a Roth IRA. Guys, a Roth IRA is a retirement fund. And normally you cannot withdraw money before the age of 59 and a half years old. However, they do make special allowances so that if you withdraw money for educational purposes, then that money can be withdrawn penalty free. Okay, but you have to prove that the money that's being withdrawn is going towards education expenses. Anything other than that before the age of 59 and a half years old will be penalized. So guys, make sure that once you open up this Roth IRA account, that when you begin to withdraw the money, make sure that that money is being used for educational purposes only, okay? Not to go buy a car, not to go buy a new dress, not to go take a vacation, okay? But make sure that money is being used for educational purposes. Therefore, you will not have to pay a penalty. And doesn't that make life great? All right, guys, so those are our 4 different types of education funds. Now, Coach D, what do you think? Well, guys, remember something. Coach D is a college professor. I love students, I love education, and never forget, Coach D loves money. So why not put all 3 together in one? And guys, let's remember something, that the 23% challenge does inspire you to improve your financial wellness. So let's take advantage of this. And let's do it on day 2, which is Money Day. That's right, guys. Money Day is all about improving our financial intelligence as well as our financial wellness. So the next time it's Money Day, so whether it's August 2nd, October 2nd, December 2nd, April 2nd, it may be your birthday or it may be your wedding anniversary, but it'll always be Money Day. So guys, let's use the next Money Day to go open up that Roth IRA, or perhaps any one of the other different types of education funds that we just discussed. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach D wants to thank you for listening. I definitely want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe and definitely write me a comment. I want to know your thoughts about an education fund. Now, in order to facilitate a comment, Coach D has a question, and our question of the day is, which education savings plan is best for you? So whether you're a parent, whether you're a student, whether you are already married and maybe you're in your 40s or your 50s and you're considering perhaps going back to school, okay, which is A-OK in Coach D's book, then please rewatch the video, listen to what I have to say, and answer the question, okay? Because ultimately, these different types of education funds will ultimately make your money work hard for you and not you work hard for your money. So once again, that question of the day is, which education savings plan is best for you? Please let us know. Coach D, along with the rest of the 23% nation, have inquiring minds, and we want to know. Well, guys, that's it. Coach D is out. Always remember, be well, and Coach D loves you.